front of the truck. You want to make sure the vehicle is not leaning to the left or to the right. Everything might not be exactly worded on your pamphlet like that.
Right.
Okay? Then you want to look underneath the truck and make sure you don't see any oil leaks, coolant, anything leaking from underneath the truck. At the top, those are clearance lights. Everything that is at the top of the truck and the trailer are clearance lights. Everything that's at the bottom is a marker light. Okay? Your clearance lights are properly mounted and secure. They are amber in color and they are not cracked nor broken. Headlights, turn signal, reflector. Properly mounted and secure, not cracked or broken, clear and amber in color. A lot of things you can put together. I'm going to show you how to put some of this stuff together to get through it faster. Hood mirror and mount. This is your side mirror and mount. Whatever you say about this mirror, you can say I'm going to check this one the same way to make it shorter. My hood mirror and mount are both properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked or broken. And my glass has no illegal stickers on it. Same for this one. Okay? At this point, you open your hood. Grab here, put one foot there, and pull back. If it doesn't lift up, sometimes it don't because of condensation, you can lift it from right here by the wheel well. All right, come on, this side of the engine. 3 hoses. Y'all see the hoses? Okay. 1, 2, and 3. All 3 hoses are properly mounted and secure. They are not cut nor leaking. Here, find belt-driven alternator on your pamphlet. This is your AC compressor. This is not on the test. A lot of people touch this and think it's the alternator. It's not the alternator. The alternator is here. This is your belt-driven alternator. It is properly mounted and secure. The alternator has no missing screws. The alternator wires should not be cut or exposed. And your alternator belt shouldn't be cut or worn. And when pulled, should have no more than 3/4 or 3/4 of an inch in slack when pulled. All right?
Yeah.
That's why you need gloves.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm gonna go wash my hands. All right. This is your turbo. This is a part of your exhaust. Properly mounted and secure, not cracked, not leaking any soot, and no missing clamps. I'm gonna follow my turbo in the back to the continuation of my exhaust.
The whole thing is the turbo, the pipe and all that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, just like you made sure the turbo wasn't missing any clamps, the exhaust here shouldn't be missing any clamps as well. If y'all can't see, come closer. Your exhaust clamps. This is your exhaust mount. This is your smokestack that goes all the way vertically up the back of the cab. That's your smokestack, and this is your heat shield. Here, you can put all of this together. Name it all together so you can get through it faster. My exhaust clamps, mount, smokestack, and heat shield are all properly mounted and secure, not cracked or broken, and there is no excessive soot coming out of the top of the smokestack. All right? That is all you're doing on the right side of the truck. Everything else is done on the left side of the truck. Y'all see the other side of the engine? It's not that consistent on there. Like some might be on one side and you got to go to the top or however it go. All right, so with this side of the engine, I break it down into 4 sections. Everything that is behind my stick, I will consider that the back wall of my engine. Once I finish all of these components back here, I will go to everything that has to do with my steering system. I will complete all of the components of my steering system. Once I'm done with the steering, I will go to the suspension. Once I'm done with all of the components of my suspension, I will go to all of the components of my brakes. I do the same thing on the second axle and at the back of the trailer. If you get on the system, if you get on the brake system and you complete all of the components of the brake system, you will stay consistent and you will not miss anything. Now, if you jump from suspension to brakes to whatever else, you're gonna miss something. The same things I'm saying about the brakes up here, I'm saying it in exact detail at the back of the tractor and at the back of the trailer. So I'm gonna start with everything back here first. You have to check 6 hoses. 3 of them can be random. The other 3 must be steering hoses. There's a hose right underneath the power steering fluid reservoir. This is also a steering hose. And this is a steering hose here. No matter what other 3 you check, you have to be specific with the steering hoses. Okay, so I'm gonna check 6. I'm gonna check the coolant hose. This is the hose that's coming out of the coolant reservoir. This is the coolant intake hose. So I have 2 coolant hoses, and the hose right back here, this is my water pump hose. And then of course my 3 steering hoses. 1, 2, and 3. So that's 6 hoses in total. Properly mounted and secure, not cut or leaking.
So there's always 3 hoses for the coolant?
Yeah, was 2. 1, 2. And then a water pump hose. So I did 2 coolant hoses, a water pump hose, and then 3 steering hoses, which gave me my 6. All right, now I'm gonna go to my coolant reservoir. Y'all see it on your papers?
Yeah.
My coolant reservoir is properly mounted and secure. It is not cracked nor leaking. It is filled between the min and the max mark, and the caps are on tightly. Now I'm gonna go to my oil dipstick, properly mounted and secure. When I check my oil, it should have no metal shavings. The oil should be the proper color and it should be filled to the proper amount. Now I'm gonna move.
Check it.
Huh?
You actually check it.
If this was your truck, you check it every day.
Right,
yes. But so you see, if I pull it out,
Right.
wipe it off,
You should be able to.
put it back in, and pull it out again, it should have no metal shavings. The oil should be the proper color and it should be filled to the proper amount. All right. Right back here, what I am touching. See it? You need to get a little closer. Get a little closer. See what I'm touching right here?
I see it.
Yeah.
That is your gear-driven air compressor.
Okay.
Everything that is at the back of the engine is gear-driven. If it's at the front of the engine, it's belt-driven. You have to be specific to tell me whether it's gear or belt-driven.
Okay.
Right? So that's your gear-driven air compressor. It is properly mounted and secure. It should not be cracked nor leaking. This hose right here is a steering hose, right? It is going into your gear-driven power steering pump. You can't see it because it's behind the frame of the tractor, but it is back there. Do not forget it. The 2 hidden components that you can't see that don't stand out is the air compressor and the power steering pump. They both are gear driven. Properly mounted and secure, not cracked or leaking. You see the same thing about both. Gear driven, properly mounted and secure, not cracked or leaking. So on and so forth. The last thing at the back of my engine, which so happens to be at the front of it, is here. This is your, God bless you, belt driven. Got a belt in front of it. It's belt driven water pump. Y'all see it on there? Might have to flip or fluff. That paper is inconsistent.
Well, you have found it?
Water pump, okay.
Oh,
See, I said it's inconsistent. All right. Your belt-driven water pump is properly mounted and secured. The water pump is not cracked nor leaking. The water pump belt is not cut or worn, and when pulled, should have no more than 3/4 of an inch in slack. All right. I'm done with everything on the back of my engine. Now I'm going to go to the rest of the components of my steering system. I've already checked my 3 hoses and my power steering pump. So now I'm going here. This is my power steering fluid reservoir. Everybody see it?
Yeah.
Properly mounted and secure, not cracked, not leaking, properly filled between the min and the max point, and the caps are on tightly. Steering gearbox. Find it on your paper. Help your neighbors. I mean, help each other. See it? All right. My steering gearbox is properly mounted and secure. It is not cracked nor leaking. Find your 3-port steering linkage, which is your pitman arm, your drag link, and your steering knuckle. All right, y'all gonna have to come closer, take turns looking in, because the steering knuckle is back here, and I want everyone to see where it is. This is the pitman arm, this is the drag link, and right here is the steering knuckle. Come see. Pitman arm, drag link, steering knuckle. Pitman arm, drag link, steering knuckle. Pitman arm, drag link, steering knuckle. All right. It is properly mounted and secure. This is the castle nut here. The castle nut is held in position by a cotter pin, or you could just simply say castle nut and pin, in the lock position. This is a rubber bushing here, and here. There's one on both ends, but you only got to cover one. It should be rubber bushing here, greased and now warm. So you can put all this together. My pitman arm, drag link, steering knuckle, properly mounted and secure with the castle nut and pin locked in place, and the bushing is greased and now warm. All right, I'm done with my steering. Now I'm going to my suspension. Find your spring mounts. Thank you. You have 2. 1 and 2. All right. So 1 and 2.
So that whole joint, metal joint, is the spring mount?
See it? 1 and 2. Front and rear spring mounts. All you gotta do, if you forget them, just look at both. This is a leaf spring here.
Right.
Look at both ends of the leaf spring.
Right.
From here to there. If you see this little part that's curved over right there that I'm touching, that is actually a part of the leaf spring. Leaf springs curl at the end so that they can hang on to the mounts. Okay? So my front and rear spring mounts, do them together. Both are properly mounted and secure. They're not bent, broken, or damaged. My leaf spring. Properly mounted and secure. Not cracked, broken, or shifted. Notice you have 2 leaf springs, and they are stacked evenly on top of each other. They should not be scissored, or you can say not shifted. Not cracked, broken.
Yeah, right there, right underneath the spring mount. That's that spring.
Yeah. Not cracked, broken, or shifted. Find your U-bolts on your paper.
Right there, right underneath the spring.
Okay. These are U-bolts. 1 and 2. They're shaped like an upside down letter U.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
No nuts missing.
1 and 2 U-boats. Okay, look at the bottom of the U-boat. Everybody look right here.
Yeah.
You see those nuts under there? Okay. The U-boats are properly mounted and secure, and they have no missing nuts. Right? So here's how all this works. The spring mounts hold in place the leaf springs. The U-boats prevents the leaf springs from crack breaking and shifting. If they don't have nuts at the bottom, something is going to move. It's going to break. So you want to make sure it has all of the components, right? The last part of your suspension is right here. This is your shock absorber. Properly mounted and secure, no missing bolts, and not leaking. All right, that's your suspension. On that axle back there, you have a spring mount, a leaf spring, U-bolts, and a shock absorber. 2 additional pieces back there is a torque arm and an airbag. When you get to the back on the trailer, you have the same thing here again. Spring mounts, leaf spring, U-bolts, no shock absorber, but you have a torque arm. So it remains consistent, give or take a couple of pieces. All right, now we go to the most consistent system throughout all axles on the truck and the trailer, which is the brakes. Find your brake hose. Sometimes it's going to be hoses. At the back of the trailer and the truck, you have 2 hoses, 2 brake hoses. Brake hose. Properly mounted and secure, it is not cut or leaking. Brake chamber. Has a clamp around it. When you get to the back of the tractor and the trailer, it's going to have 2 clamps around it. Brake chamber and clamp. Properly mounted and secure, no dents or leaks. Slack adjuster. Everybody take a turn. Slack adjuster, push ride. Slack adjuster, push ride.
So is the push rod this thing?
Yeah, the push ride is the part that looks like a tuning fork.
No.
They have spiders on these trucks. Okay.
So you're saying this is the push rod?
This is the push ride, yes.
Okay, and
this is the slack adjuster. Yes. Notice how they both have bolts going, one here and one there. The bolts are held on by cotter pins. One here and one there.
Okay.
Those are the pins. Slack adjuster, push ride. Properly mounted and secure. No missing pins. And with the brakes released, 1 inch of free play. The pins and the 1 inch are the most 2 important things that I am listening for on the test. If you don't tell me it's not missing no pins and it doesn't give you more than 1 inch, I'm not going to give you credit for it. You have to do this 3 times. No, just with the brakes release, it shouldn't move more than 1 inch. Yeah. All right? We got it? Slack adjuster push rod, properly mounted and secure, no missing pins, and with the brakes released, no more than 1 inch. God damn, these mosquitoes are change. Every time. Yeah. All right. Now we go to the brake pad and brake drum. So you gotta look inside the rim. This is your brake pad, and this is the brake drum on the outside. Brake pad, brake drum on the outside. Brake pad, brake drum. Brake pad, brake drum on the outside. Brake pad, brake drum. Brake pad, brake drum. Brake pad, brake drum. All right? Find them on your paper. All right? It doesn't give you the measurement on your paper, but I'm about to give you the measurement that this brake pad shouldn't be worn less than. Okay? My brake pad and brake drum is properly mounted and secure. They are not cracked. They are evenly worn. There should be no dirt, oil, or grease in between your brake pad and your brake drum, and your brake pad shouldn't be worn less than 1/4 of an inch in thickness or 1/4 of an inch in thickness. It does?
It says it in text. Not the numbers.
Okay, yeah, 1/4, no less than 1/4 of an inch in thickness. I need you to tell me no less than 1/4 of an inch in thickness. And also that it has no dirt, oil, or grease in between the pad and the drum. Now we go to the rim. Find your rim. The most important thing about the rim is that it is not illegally welded. Your inner rim and outer rim, properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no illegal welds. Also, there should be no space in between your rim and your tire. If there is space, that is an indication that your tire is going flat. No space between the rim and the tire on the inside and outside. You don't have to be that specific, but you know what you're checking for on the inside and outside when you're looking at that. Okay? Now we're on the tire. Your inner and outer tire wall should have no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts. Your tire tread depth should be no less than 430 seconds, and it should be evenly worn across. Your lug nuts, thank you, none should be missing. Around the lug nuts should be no shiny threads, no rust trails, and there should be no signs of looseness around your lug nuts. This is a hub seal. Hub seal is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked or leaking, and if it had a clear lens, you could see the oil level on the inside. This is your tire valve stem. Properly mounted and secure. It should not be leaking. It should have a cap on it. And when you check your tire pressure with the gauge, it should read manufacturer specs. Whatever it say on the face of this tire, that's the proper air for the tire. Manufacturer specs. All right, and once you get here, you are done with the engine component and the steering axle of the truck. So now we move down. Now we move down the side of the truck. Starting here, this is your turn signal. Properly mounted and secure. It is amber in color, and it is not cracked nor broken. Some of this stuff I'm about to talk about may not be on that paper.
Right.
Yeah. Your door. The outside of your door should have no holes, no bits of paint, no dents in the door. Come on, this side of the door, everybody. You're going to open the door, and you're going to close it. You want to make sure that when it is closed evenly with the cab. The door is not hanging off or anything like that. Okay, so you're going to open the door again, and on the inside of your door, you want to check your door hinges, which are here. The door hinges should not be bent, broken, or damaged, and they should support the weight of the door. These are your weather strips. Properly mounted and secure. They should not be cut or worn. There's a handle right here inside the truck that says baggage. You pull this handle, it opens this side door, which is where your emergency equipment will be inside of the cab. All right?
We got to mention the weather strips?
Yes.
Yeah.
See the little handle?
yeah.
Baggage. Yep.
Oh, that's good.
All right, now I'm going to close this door. I'm going to check my stairs. My stairs should not be, they should be properly mounted and secure. They should not be bent or broken. There should be no obstructions on the stairs, no rocks, anything that will make me slip if I stand on these stairs. Then I want to make sure the stairs support my weight. Okay? Then I'm going here to my fuel tank. I want to make sure my fuel tank is properly mounted and it is not leaking. My fuel tank straps are not bent or broken, and the rubber seals here, and here are now worn. My fuel tank cap is properly mounted and secure. On the inside of my fuel tank cap, I have a rubber seal here and a safety chain. Cap is also not leaking. All right. So then I'm gonna go in here, which is where my emergency equipment will be. I have a 10 BC fully charged fire extinguisher, 3 reflective warning triangles, and somewhere in the cab I should have at least 6 spare fuses. All right, let me close this. 6 spare fuses, yes. Thank you. All right. I'm not going here yet, but before I connect these, I'm gonna show y'all. See all these holes? There should be no dirt or debris, anything blocking these holes. And then this is going into the electric connection part of the trailer. There are prongs inside of here that all of those holes, yes, so there should be no missing prongs, and the prongs should not be bent or broken inside of here. Same thing on this end of the electric plug. You good. Service glad hand. Rubber seal is not worn. Trailer glad hand. Rubber seal should not be worn. I'm gonna go over this again when I get to it. I'm just showing y'all what I'm doing. Yeah. And in order to couple, you press the rubber seals together at a 90-degree angle like this, and then you rotate back so it locks in place. That's more. That needs to be changed. All right, lock position. So at the back of the cab, you want to check your DOT reflectors, which are at the top. They are properly mounted and secure, and they are clear or silver in color. Okay, then you go to your airlines, the connectors here, properly mounted and secure. They are properly connected and they are not leaking. Here, the airlines are not leaking. Your electric plug on both ends from here to here has no dirt or debris, no missing or bent prongs. Your lines should not be tangled. They should not be rubbing against the catwalk. Your airlines should not be cut or leaking, and your electric plugs should have no exposed wiring. Your catwalk and catwalk stairs are properly mounted and secured. There's no debris or no obstructions, and these stairs should be able to support your weight. Your frame and cross member. Frame and cross member are both properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no illegal welds on the frame. All right, let's go to this tractor over there on the other side that is disconnected from the trailer, so I can show y'all how the drive shaft looks. Because you can't see it on this one. drive shaft.
Let me see over here.
So this the frame, though.
This is your drive shaft here. And this is your U-joints, your universal joints.
Yep.
It goes all the way throughout the back of the tractor. Drive shaft,
U-joint.
U-joints. Everybody see?
So this whole thing is the what? The drive shaft?
Yeah, this is the differential thing in here. Yeah. This is the drive shaft. That's the U-joint. All right. Properly mounted and secure. It is not bent or twisted. The drive shaft also has no illegal welds on it. The U-joints should be greased and there should be no trash nor debris caught in the middle. That's it. Now we're going to the second axle, which has suspension, brakes, rim, and tires, just like the front does. So we're checking everything over again. This suspension here has more components than it does at the front. So the two additional pieces, I'll show them to you when I get to it. First, I'm gonna name all the parts of the suspension so we'll know what exactly is suspension here. So you have a spring mount on your side. It's right here. One spring mount. As you can see, the second spring mount is for the third axle. We're only doing one axle at the back of the tractor. So we have one spring mount. Remember what the leaf spring looks like from the front, right? There's a leaf spring here. That's y'all leaf spring. Leaf spring. Y'all see your U-bolts over there? U-bolts, two. U-bolts. This is a torque arm. Here. Your shock absorber. I think it's right here. Now we can get to the trivia. Shock absorber. And I'm coming around to the side. Airbag mount. Airbag. Bell housing. Airbag mount. Airbag. Bell housing at the bottom.
Okay. Is it what?
Airbag mount, airbag, and bell housing. So that is all of the components of the suspension system for the second axle. So now I'm going to pre-trip it. My torque arm is properly mounted and secure. It's not bent or broken, and it has no missing bolts. My spring mount is properly mounted and secure. It is not cracked nor broken. My leaf spring is properly mounted and secure. It is not cracked, broken, or shifted. My U-bolts are properly mounted and secure, and there are no missing nuts at the bottom. My shock absorber is properly mounted and secure. It is not dented, leaking, with no missing bolts. My airbag mount, airbag, and bell housing are properly mounted and secure. The airbag has no missing part, no ABCs, and no leaks.
He was saying which one is the shock absorber? Is this
Yeah,
Right,
just
like
right
a
there.
towel.
Right there.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
That's your shock absorber. All right?
Shocks.
So that is the suspension. Torque arm, spring mount, leaf spring, U-bolts, shock absorber, airbag mount, airbag, and bell housing. That's your suspension. Okay? Now we're going to the brakes. The brakes are exactly the same again. Back here you have two brake hoses. Two and two. You gotta look over the frame. Two brake hoses. They're going into this chamber. The brake hoses are properly mounted and secure. They are not cut nor leaking. Your brake chamber and clamps. This one has two. It's properly mounted and secure. It is not dented nor leaking. Your slack adjuster and push rod, it is upside down back here. Y'all see on that side? It's there. Now you're looking at the bottom of the slack adjuster versus being right side up where you can see the push rod. Okay? Properly mounted and secure. It has no missing pins, and with the brakes release, it shouldn't extend how far? No more than 1 inch. All right. On the inside of the rim again. Looking in now, you're looking at your brake pad, brake drum. Brake pad, brake drum. Properly mounted and secure, evenly worn, not cracked nor broken, no dirt, oil, or grease, and the pad is not worn less than 1/4 of an inch in thickness. Same things again. All right, now we're going to the rim. Since we have dual tires here, we have more parts of the rim to check. So you got your inner rim here and your outer rim here. We'll do them together. My inner and outer rims are both properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no illegal welds. There's no space in between my rim and my tire. In the middle, where the rims are touching, that is your bud, B-U-D, spacing. Your bud spacing. It might be B-U-D-D. Spacing. The rims are touching. The inner tires should not be touching. And there should be no dirt or debris caught in between your tires. So the bud spacing. The rims are touching. The tires are not. There is no trash or debris caught in the middle. Now we're going to both tires. Inner and outer, inner and outer. All 4 of my inner and outer tire walls has no ABCs, no abrasions, bubbles, or cuts. My tire tread depth, first of all, I have no mismatched tires. They're both the same type of tire. The tread depth should be no less than 2/32 of an inch, and they should be evenly worn across. Now I'm going to my lug nuts. Y'all see the lug nuts? The lug nuts are on the rim.
Yeah.
Properly mounted and secure. There are no shiny threads, no rust trails, and no signs of looseness. In the center of the rim, that is an axle seal. Properly mounted and secure. My axle seal is not cracked nor leaking, and if it had a clear lens, you can see the oil level on the inside.
Say hub seal too.
Yeah, so the hub seal is always at the front, and this is an axle seal. But if you call this a hub seal or you call that an axle seal, as long as you tell me it's not leaking, I don't care.
I got a question. I keep hearing y'all say that they have clear lens on the seal. You have to say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we do have one.
Something clear, yeah.
I think them two got clear. That's clear lenses too, but you can't see it because it's filthy.
Yeah.
But that's the one with the clear lenses on the back of the trailer over here. All right, and the last thing for the tire here would be your valve stem. Properly mounted and secure. It should have a cap on it. It should not be leaking. And when you check the tire pressure with the gauge, it should read manufacturer specs. All right? Y'all got that? Now let's go back over here because we have to do the fifth wheel. But while we're over here, I'm gonna name the course plate. So this is your fifth wheel plate. See this grease on it? It should always be greased. This is your fifth wheel pivot pin. They look different on every type of fifth wheel. So I'll show you the pivot pin over there as well. This is your fifth wheel release arm. This holds right in front of your fifth wheel. This is your actuator hose, or you can simply call it your fifth wheel airline. This is a sliding fifth wheel. This is the fifth wheel slide here. This is your fifth wheel mount. Well, actually, this is the mount, and all of this right here is the slide. Okay? The slide should be properly mounted, so on and so forth. But most importantly, these are mounting, M-O-U-N-T-I-N-G, mounting bolts. No missing mounting bolts. These bolts keep this fifth wheel on the frame of the tractor. All right, now let's go check it out. With it underneath the